Alors 4 ans, il était, je pense qu'il a eu la fibre de quelqu'un qui veut vraiment aller plus loin. Mais depuis qu'il était petit, que son père, il travaille avec lui, il l'amène dans tous les entraînements. En tout cas, il a eu un parcours quand même assez intéressant, mais je l'ai connu petit. Alors je vais laisser la suite pour lui à Wesley. Une bonne bande d'applaudissements à Wesley.
Bonjour à tous. J'espère que tout le monde va bien, que le séjour ici à Lisbonne, ça a bien été. Bon, moi, ça va être un peu différent. Je vais vous parler un peu de mon parcours. Comme maman l'a dit, j'ai commencé à 4 ans à Timbits, Tim Horton. Grâce à Amal, il a vu un peu que j'avais un peu de talent et tout. Il m'a monté direct. J'ai joué à Rosemont, la petite patrie avec lui. C'était mon coach. On faisait quelques petits tournois, Claude Robillard et tout. Quelques années plus tard, je crois à l'âge d'environ 7 ans, Amal a décidé d'aller à Panelinos. C'est là, au moment que j'ai rejoint mon premier club, vrai club. Je suis allé avec Amal, j'ai joué toujours surclassé. À l'âge de 9 ans, c'était mon premier tournoi international. Je suis parti avec des gars d'environ 2-3 ans plus vieux que moi à un tournoi en France. J'ai joué quelques minutes, j'ai pas joué beaucoup de temps et tout, mais juste le fait d'aller là-bas, ça m'a ouvert les yeux, voir le talent en Europe et tout, qu'est-ce que je devais faire pour arriver plus loin. À cet âge-là, je suis revenu à Montréal, je savais environ c'était quoi le niveau en Europe. L'année d'après, Amal et mon père ont décidé d'emporter 2 équipes au tournoi mondial et tout. C'était mon deuxième tournoi international à l'âge de 10 ans. Ça s'est pas vraiment bien passé, je crois qu'on n'a pas gagné un seul match. Je vais vous dire la vérité, c'était le pire. J'ai eu le pire résultat que j'ai eu dans ma vie, on a perdu 21-1 contre Benfica. Mais cette expérience-là m'a vraiment fait ouvrir les yeux. J'ai joué contre des gars de mon âge. Juste le fait de prendre 21-1 contre des gars de mon âge, ça m'a fait ouvrir les yeux, ça m'a dit que le niveau en Europe est vraiment fort. Là, c'est à moi de travailler pour y arriver un jour. Je suis revenu à Montréal, continuer à travailler. À l'âge de 11 ans, à l'âge de 12 ans, je suis allé au régional à Concordia. Je suis aussi allé à Diamond Nations Cup avec Canada. J'ai été pris, puis je suis allé en Pologne faire le tournoi. Ça s'est bien passé aussi. À l'âge de 13 ans, tournois régionaux avec Concordia. C'était une expérience un peu différente pour moi parce que moi, je suis un ailier, milieu offensif. Et le coach, à la dernière seconde, 2-3 jours avant le tournoi, il m'a dit « Wesley, j'ai besoin de toi en défenseur central. » Donc, c'est complètement différent. J'étais en défenseur central. Tournoi moyen, on n'a pas vraiment bien fait. Pendant ce temps-là, de 2010 à 2013, j'ai fait 3 mondialitos. Chaque année, on évoluait. Troisième année, on est allé au groupe A. On a passé dans le groupe où est-ce qu'il y a les meilleures équipes. On a perdu 4-0 contre Moscou, mais encore une fois, comme je vous l'ai dit, c'est une expérience. Moi, on venait ici, puis on savait qu'on n'allait pas peut-être gagner le tournoi. Mais on faisait notre mieux, on donnait tout contre les grandes équipes. Puis je crois que c'est comme ça que moi et les autres joueurs de mon équipe, on a ouvert nos yeux. Je ne suis pas le seul, il y en a d'autres ici qui sont en Europe. Il y en a 2-3 qui étaient dans cette équipe-là en 2013, qui sont aussi en Europe. 2014, c'était l'année décisive. Je suis venu à un tournoi en Suède avec l'ami à mon père. Il a créé une petite équipe ici au Portugal, puis il m'a invité. J'ai bien fait. On a fait 2 tournois. On a fait Suède, puis juste après, on a pris un bateau en Danemark. 2 tournois, j'ai marqué 21 buts. Le monsieur qui travaillait pour Benfica dans le temps, il m'a aimé. Mes parents étaient en voyage à Cuba dans ce temps-là. Et il a appelé mes parents, il a dit comme ça, vous avez quelques jours pour prendre la décision, c'est où il reste en Europe ou il retourne à Montréal. Dans le temps, j'avais 14 ans, quitter la famille, quitter tous mes amis, l'école, venir dans un autre pays. Oui, je suis portugais, mais mon portugais n'était pas vraiment évolué. J'ai décidé, bon, c'est une porte qui vient de s'ouvrir, il faut prendre le risque. J'ai décidé, je suis venu ici sans mes parents. Là, j'ai 14 ans, j'habitais avec une famille que je connaissais à peine. C'était peut-être l'année la plus difficile dans ma vie. Chaque soir, environ chaque soir, je pleurais. Mais aussi sans l'aide de mes parents, j'aurais jamais été ici. Mon père a toujours été là, ma mère aussi. Toute chaque pratique, ils étaient là, ils m'appelaient tous les jours, me supportaient. Et c'est des sacrifices qu'il faut prendre dans la vie. Je sais que vous êtes jeunes, mais c'est des sacrifices. Si c'est vraiment ça que vous voulez faire de votre vie, il faut les prendre, les sacrifices. Moi, la première année, j'ai pas joué. J'étais juste dans une équipe en train de m'entraîner. À cause de la FIFA, ils m'ont pas laissé jouer ici au Portugal. Pendant une année, juste ici au Portugal, en train de m'entraîner. Je voyais mes parents chaque 6 mois. C'était pas facile. Deuxième année, en 2015, Je suis venu faire quelques stages de Sporting. Ça s'est bien passé. Sporting, de là, il m'a envoyé à Bologna. Je suis resté là 3 ans et demi. J'ai quitté maintenant en janvier. Cette année, j'ai commencé la saison comme capitaine. J'étais capitaine de Bologna. Mais après, en janvier, j'ai pris la décision de quitter. Je suis parti à Estoril. C'est mon club en ce moment. C'est un club qui va sûrement m'emporter plus parce qu'ils ont eu 23. Pour moi, c'est ma dernière année en formation. L'année prochaine, je fais le saut en pro. Fait que je dois signer un contrat l'année prochaine. Fait que je suis en train de tout faire pour y arriver. C'est pour ça que je mets toutes les chances de mon côté. Ça fait 2 ans que je travaille avec lui, avec Thomas et son partenaire. Moi, une semaine de ma vie, je vais vous la dire, moi je vais 2-3 fois au gym le matin par semaine avec lui. À part de ça, moi j'habite avec quelques amis américains. Fait que les jours que je vais pas au gym, on part au terrain chaque matin, on va frapper des balles, on fait des passes avec un entraîneur qui n'a pas été capable d'être ici, qui s'appelle Puma. Après l'après-midi, j'ai aussi 2 fois par semaine gym avec mon club. Ça veut dire que je fais le gym le matin, je vais à la maison, je mange. Je vais au gym l'après-midi, avant la pratique, puis 30 minutes avant la pratique, on va au gym, puis après, on va sur le terrain. Ça, c'est comme ça 5 fois par semaine. Puis après, le samedi, on a un match. Comme moi, je viens d'arriver de Modèle, l'île où est-ce que Ronaldo est né. J'ai eu un match là-bas hier. Malheureusement, on a égalisé. Mais juste pour vous dire, les gars, l'expérience que vous avez, croyez-moi que vous allez adorer. Peut-être quelques-uns, c'est leur première fois, deuxième fois, troisième fois. Mais remerciez aussi vos parents, car sans vos parents, vous ne serez pas là. C'est eux qui vous aident aussi tous les jours. Et fait que prenez de cette expérience, même si ça va mal en termes de résultats, donnez tout à chaque match, tout. On ne sait jamais qui y a dans les estrades qui peut voir, peut-être des recruteurs, peut-être ils vont aimer le talent que vous avez. Mais comme j'ai dit, prenez cette expérience comme un plus. Il y a plusieurs joueurs à Montréal qui auraient aimé être à votre place et vous êtes les chanceux, vous êtes là. Donc amusez-vous. Moi, vendredi prochain, je vais être là. Je vais être là pour vous supporter. Je vais être là vendredi, samedi pour vous supporter en espérant que vous êtes dans les finales. Et aussi un dernier mot, juste remercier à l'école sportive Mondialité au Canada, car depuis tout jeune, ils m'ont supporté. C'est eux qui m'ont aidé à venir en Europe. Beaucoup d'heures passées avec eux, beaucoup d'heures, les tournois qu'on a fait. Moi, j'ai fait de 2009 à 2014, je crois, j'ai fait 11 tournois internationaux. Donc, profitez de chaque occasion que vous avez. Et encore une fois, merci à tout le monde et bonne fin. Bon tournoi.
Wow. Premièrement, félicitations pour ton parcours et la détermination que tu as eue pour arriver où est-ce que tu es aujourd'hui. Et je te souhaite bonne chance pour la suite. J'ai une question pour toi. De 11 à 15 ans, c'est facile de décrocher, de se faire dévier du développement au soccer pour toutes les mauvaises raisons au monde. Ça peut être les jeux, ça peut être les amis, ça peut être n'importe quoi. Ça peut être parce que la marche est trop haute. Quelle a été ta source de motivation, ton point d'ancrage pour que tu restes engagé pour dire que je suis capable?
Ben, comme je vous ai dit, moi, le fait de prendre un 21, voir tous les jeunes en Europe avec un grand talent, aussi, il faut dire, eux, ils sont chanceux, ils sont nés ici en Europe, où est-ce que tout le monde veut arriver. Nous, on est loin, mais c'est pas parce qu'on est à l'autre côté du monde qu'on va pas y arriver. Moi, depuis tout petit, depuis l'âge de 4 ans, c'est ça que j'ai voulu faire. J'ai toujours vu les grands joueurs, Ronaldo, Messi, tous ces gars-là, y arriver. Moi, je me suis dit, pourquoi pas, moi, je pourrais pas y arriver. Si eux, ils sont nés, ils étaient petits, ils vont commencer à toucher la balle. Si eux, ils sont capables d'y arriver, moi, je suis capable d'y arriver. Donc, j'essaie de mettre toutes les chances de mon côté. Beaucoup de travail. Comme vous avez mentionné les amis et tout, moi, je trouve qu'il y a toujours le temps pour tout. Moi, imagine, je suis ici, je passe toute l'année loin de mes amis et tout. Quand j'arrive à Montréal, c'est sûr, je passe beaucoup de temps avec mes amis, mais je trouve toujours au moins 1 ou 2 heures par jour pour toucher la balle, aller au gym ou faire quelque chose pour rester en forme. Il y a du temps pour tout. Il y a du temps pour l'école. Moi, ça fait maintenant 2 ans que j'ai fini l'école, fait que maintenant c'est juste soccer. Mais il y a du temps pour tout. Il y a du temps pour la famille, du temps pour les amis, du temps pour s'amuser. Mais aussi, il faut toujours se réserver cette 2 heures environ par jour pour travailler au max. Puis c'est pas en allant...
Est-ce que tu le faisais, Wesley? Est-ce que tu faisais à tous les jours quand tu avais 11, 12, 13 ans aussi?
Moi, Mon père est là, il peut le confirmer, c'était mon coach dans le temps, à Panelios, après Amal. Je crois que j'ai pas raté une seule pratique. Même si j'avais un examen le lendemain matin à 8h le matin, puis la pratique, j'arrivais à minuit à la maison. Il y a du temps pour l'étudier. C'est pas ces 2 heures-là que je vais enlever pour étudier. Avant la pratique, j'étudiais, puis après, j'allais à la pratique. Il y a toujours du temps pour tout, comme j'ai dit. Ouais, moi, j'étais en sport-études, j'ai fait l'Impact de Montréal. Je suis resté 2 ans et demi, secondaire 1, secondaire 2. Ah non, secondaire 1 et la moitié de l'année. Après, il y a eu un petit problème, il ne me laissait pas venir en Europe, fait que je suis allé au CNHP pour la mi-année. Et comme je vous dis, je faisais Impact, CNHP, on va dire. Puis le soir, j'allais quand même pratiquer avec l'équipe à mon père. Il y a toujours du temps pour tout, il y a du temps pour l'étude et tout. Donc, je trouve, surtout à cet âge-là, c'est là qu'il faut commencer. Parce que j'ai beaucoup d'amis qui sont venus à l'âge de 17-18 ans en Europe. Ça n'a pas marché parce qu'ils ont perdu beaucoup de temps derrière. Ici en Europe, à cet âge-là, ça pratique déjà 5 fois par semaine. Tandis qu'à Montréal, peut-être on pratique 2-3 fois. Fait qu'il faut profiter de toutes les occasions, même toucher la balle à la maison, énerver papa et maman, frapper contre le mur, pareil, inquiétez-vous pas. Fait que juste prenez chaque instant de votre journée pour vous améliorer et mettez toutes les chances de votre côté pour y arriver. Mais merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Dernière question. Vous pouvez répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Oui, allô?
Ouais.
Juste peut-être expliquer aux enfants combien de temps tu passes sur le PS4, Fortnite, iPod, iPad.
Beaucoup de vous espèrent que ma réponse soit 0. Mais de ce côté-là, j'ai 19 ans, mais je suis encore mon côté jeune. Non. Je vais pas vous mentir. Moi, durant la journée, je fais pas ça parce que, comme je l'ai dit, j'ai le gym et tout. Mais je trouve toujours peut-être une petite heure. Mais j'abuse pas. On va pas se coucher tard. Je me couche pas à 3h du matin tous les jours. 1 heure par jour. Moi, à la maison que je suis, le maximum qu'on peut être réveillé, c'est... on doit être à minuit au lit. Puis minuit après, on s'endort et tout. Parce qu'on se réveille à 9h30, on pratique le matin. Mais pour répondre à votre question, maximum 1 heure par jour. Je joue un peu avec mes amis du Canada juste pour m'amuser et tout. Mais je passe pas des 5 heures. Même pas la fin de semaine quand j'ai rien. Comme aujourd'hui, j'ai rien. Je crois que ça fait même 2 semaines que j'ai pas touché à ma PS4. Fait que... Merci beaucoup.
Whoa! Hey! Hey, les enfants! Hey! On écoute! Isabella, listen please.
So, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's nice to be amongst this wonderful cultural exchange. I'm teacher and coach Andrew Miranda. What I'll talk about today is I'll complement what has been said before through Ricardo and Wesley. Wesley is a good example of the end result of the micro, what Ricardo talked about, the physical part, and then I'll complement with some of the other aspects of football, the other characteristics like the cognitive side, etc. What I'll do also in the beginning, just put things in perspective. Initially, it was to do a comparison of Canadian soccer and Portuguese soccer, but I eliminated that part because I think that the idea is not to compare or to critique. Most of you have traveled a long way, right? And the idea is to take what's useful, what you appreciate, what you may like, and add it to what you already do. Most of you are coaches who've been coaching for a long time, or love to coach, who love to teach. I'm in the same area. I teach and I coach, and I enjoy doing this as a profession. So again, I would like to welcome you, and I'll get started with the talk, which is mainly focusing on football in Portugal, and then at the end, sharing you what practices are like, so complementing what the others have said before. So, as Ricardo mentioned and showed in his talk, most of us in the end result of the team concept, we want success. So we have that representation with either a symbol or a trophy or a medal, and most of you all know what this is. It's the World Cup trophy, right? So it's a representation of, again, some of the words that my colleague says, reaching success for the group. So like I said, I would like to talk about the macro level of what we do. So real quick, I would also mention in between the end result, okay, and a little bit of historical background of soccer in Portugal, is the different styles of play. Because most of you know what you do in the game, and we had this yesterday, you may need to adapt the style of play that you initially may have started in the middle of the match. We had that yesterday with 2007. We noticed something and we had to make a quick adjustment, and that's what we do in our sport. As you know, getting into the historical part, Portugal, especially lately, has gotten a lot of attention in soccer. Before all of this attention that Cristiano Ronaldo has and Jose Mourinho, one as a coach and one as one of the top players in the world, is the guys, we have this in the sports tradition, the guys who came before us, they laid the foundation. So most of you know Luis Figo and Nuno Espírito Santo, other guys who came before Cristiano Ronaldo and Jose Mourinho. Most of you know the top three. We have Sporting, we have Benfica, we have Porto, some others. We have Braga, Belenenses, the Vasco mentioned, Victoria de Setúbal, which is in the south. Then in the area, we have some smaller clubs that have a tremendous tradition. They may not be as well known. Some are. We have Real Massamá, that's not far from where we are now. Wesley mentioned Estoril. Cova de Piedade is near Almada, where some of the matches were yesterday. Fabril is also in the south, Almada, and Setúbal once again. The thing that most of you know, and I'd like to mention, this area where you are, the Lisbon area, and where some of the matches were played yesterday, we call it kind of like the South Shore, in Portuguese we call it the Margem Sul, are hubs of soccer. So a lot of players, it's very, very competitive, and a lot of players have come from the Lisbon area and the South Shore. That's just what I wanted to share, that although Portugal is a very small country in terms of numbers, a lot of players come out of this area, and I'm going to get into why that is. Now, most of the coaches know this, but for some people who are interested and may be able to help you when you're watching some of the matches, some of you who aren't coaches, we have the different styles of play. And so I'll start with a few attacking styles. Most of the coaches know this. So we have direct play, and I'll talk about the references in a moment. Exactly. What we call the long ball direct plays, going from the back and sending the ball forward. It's just a style, okay? It adapts during the match. Then we have building up from the back, where it starts from the keeper, and we progress forward. Counter-attacking a play is quickly, once we recover the ball, trying to score. This is just some general stuff. Most of the coaches know this. And then we have total football, made famous by people, the Dutch, okay? And this is a bit more complete. And the teams from the 80s, most of you veterans, those great Holland teams from the 80s kind of characterize that. And they're coming back. The Ajax team right now is kind of really, really competitive, but it looks like some of that total play football is coming back because Holland kind of slowed down a little bit. Now, and that leads to Portugal, okay? Most of you who know soccer, Portugal has what we call open play. And then I'll get back to that in a second. Real quick, the defending styles, we have block defending, so the team moves as a unit from sector to sector, or part of the field to part of the field. And then the high pressure play is when, you notice all the defensemen going forward to defend with a lot of intensity. And we have low pressure play. You could have a big lead, you may not need to do that. or you may just try to be figuring out what the other team is doing, so you apply it accordingly. And as most of the coaches know, the coach will define the style of play based on the lot he has, because it could change from year to year or generation to generation. So ideally, right, you get to know your players on different levels and you apply the best format for your team or that group. Because one year you might have a lot of really high intense players, so it's easy to do what we call high pressure play, etc. You might have a different group and you may want to use block defending, etc. Okay? Some quick references. Like I said, this is the quick historical part I'll go through quickly. Reference 1, England and Germany are known with the long ball play. And the other thing, especially on the professional level, the referees let them play. So that's why it's very, very physical and a lot of contact. And you'll see the comparisons where it's not like that in all areas of Europe. Going back to Holland, they made the total football famous. And the main reference is, most of the veterans know, Johan Cruyff as a player, and then he was really into the academic part, and he carried that on to the Holland football and took it to Barcelona. He took it to Barcelona and made it very, very famous. A characteristic, obviously, and I've heard a couple of coaches share with me, I have versatile players. So when you have versatile players, obviously you can do this. Sometimes you may have players who are very conventional, they're very good at defense or very good at offense. So with versatile players, you can apply this method if you want or you choose. Spain and Italy, close to here, our neighbors, famous for, especially the Barca teams, being able to build up from the back. The Italian teams also building up from the back. And also here you need very good technical players, because the pass in different situations or different types of pass, short, medium, long. And a couple of references, Barcelona, and recently Napolis has gone back to this as a reference. Now, one thing here, and this also applies, is also the contrast in the referees are in the game more, lots of fouls, okay? They protect the players. It's just the contrast, so it's good to know the players are more protected in those areas. So, getting to kind of the main point in the lecture, Portugal, where we are here, where we are now. So it has a mix of references. Jose Mourinho made that popular. It's a physical game. It's also a physical game. Technically sound players, so it's a mix of physical and technical. But the thing I wanted to emphasize here, and most of you can see that with some of the names, is the addition of the creative player. So that's where Portugal comes in this European context, that Portugal allows to have a creative player be freer in general compared to other regions. And where that comes in, and I'll show it later, is, it's there, where it has a blend of Holland and then Brazil, and known for all the creativity of Brazil. So again, we have an amalgamation of two contrasting styles, and we have Cristiano Ronaldo, who's tremendously famous, Quaresma, who people call him one of the best dribblers, Nani Gelson, who recently went to Monaco, and a new rising star in Portugal, Bruno Fernandes, who's a midfielder who just broke Frank Lampard's record for most goals in a season. So a midfielder who scores that much, for all of us who play, is impressive, okay? And so he's from here. Now, again, getting a little bit more into this part about the practice and the macro. So what we incorporate on, of course, on a higher level, on a more sophisticated level, is integrating the practice, or having this in mind when we set up the practice. And integrating the practice is taking into consideration the 4 areas, right? As my colleague mentioned before, obviously this is a physical part. Then we have the basics of what he said, the foundation, pass, dribble, and shoot. Now tactical. There's different views here in Portugal. We start to emphasize the tactical part around 11, 12, 13, when they start moving into 11 verse 11, 11v11. Now, the tactical, here's a word that Ricardo had in relation to physical fitness. The one in the middle, trust. So tactical, besides the basic definition, okay, what we're going to do, here are the values in the tactical part. So the insight is where the player has a lot of experience and has depth in what he can do. The trust is trusting himself, trusting his colleagues, which is a big part or challenge when we have very creative players. He has a colleague that's wide open, but he wants to go against two people. The play, pass the ball, you may get it back. That's the trust, building the trust. And then obviously the courage to attack, defend, and play the game. Physical stamina and strength, I won't mention too much about that. As already talked about. And then another important part of the game that sometimes it gets underestimated, but many people who played a lot of football know that it's tremendously important. The cognitive side of football, the decision making, the logical part, okay, and the learning ability. Because football in certain regions is very, very sophisticated. You may have a coach like Pep Guardiola, Johan Cruyff, that has a lot of tactical, and the players need to be able to accompany him. So it's important to step by step, challenging them with the cognitive side of the football, okay? That's what I would like to emphasize. Then, I'm keeping my talk kind of brief, because I'm almost at the end. Now, so we're thinking of a sport, and we're thinking the first idea of basketball, football, etc., is the physical part. So one of my intentions about transmitting, besides the physical part, is these virtues or values that also, as they are part of the other keyword, the process, from beginning to having a player, a pro here to share, is for them to acquire these virtues. And the first speaker used the word resilience in his talk, in physical preparation, and it translates into the match, okay? To keep going, overcoming all of the challenges that they face individually and as a team. Persistence, and then efficiency. Efficiency was also made famous going back to Johan Cruyff, okay? We have this term, the beautiful game, or keeping it simple. Sometimes it looks, when some teams, Barca in recent years was like that, it looks like they're doing it easily, but there's so much tremendous preparation that they become efficient. Most of you have probably seen Barca, especially 2 or 3 years ago, they passed the ball 30 times before not only shooting, before scoring. And there's been many occasions where they passed the ball around the field. If you count, it's 30, 35, 40, that's a tremendous amount on one possession. So that's efficiency. Because we have this new saying, and most of you, we cannot teach repetition. I repeat, we cannot teach repetition. Repetition is through action. And that's what Barca does. And that's what we do in the integrated approach here in Portugal. And what do we mean by that? So because we have the benefit of having a mild climate or good climate, sometimes we start the practice right away with an exercise. We do have the benefit of the warm weather. The children are young, so we may not need to do so much warm-up, so much stretching. So we start to practice right away, and it might surprise me that it may be a very active or highly intense exercise at the beginning of the practice, but it's to maximize the time, maximize the practice, and continue to instill or put game-like situations, which is constant action, constant moving, most of the time, okay? So, and as it says there, practice outcomes, simulate match experience and situations in the practice. So even if you're doing ball possession exercise, you're working those different components, okay? Velocity or intensity, passing, speed, okay? Or you could be working a certain game situation, okay? Almost. So similar to what the first speaker said, there are two words that were in his, right, thing about the micro, just the physical part, but we also incorporate that into the team part. Commitment and excellence. This is a famous slogan by a famous professional team, even though it's applicable in areas. The Raiders use this as their mission statement, those of you who follow American sports. This is the mission statement of the Oakland Raiders. We use it a lot in all sports because the process is for them to be as good as possible individually and then as the group. And developing the high performance skills, obviously offense. This is just basic stuff for the coaches. Ball possession, ball recovery, and then another key word that sometimes, I would say the key word here is the third word, is the reaction. A simple example, a challenge for this age group, something happens, they get disappointed with themselves, or the referee didn't blow the whistle, and they may stop, or they may slow down. We know the ball keeps rolling, yeah. So the third one, this is pretty basic, is something that is a challenge of working at this part of the process. The older children, we push them more, the young adults, we push them more. This is a bit more obvious. But again, each stage has some key value besides the physical part that is being worked, okay? So reaction is very good for this stage because they'll stop, they'll wonder, they'll look at the coach, etc., etc. Just about. The time is conclusion. So again, I sped up my talk a little bit. We're short on time, but I just wanted to share with you. So in conclusion, now to the players. You guys are here. Make the most of your visit. It's a wonderful cultural experience. The parents know that. The coaches know that. Okay? But again, I would like to tell you guys, emphasize working in practice. I know you're young, but as soon as you arrive there, start getting ready to perform at a high level for you. Because that repetition, that taking practice, if the word serious is a little bit too strong for the parents, but it's just concentration and focus, it's for the group. It benefits the player, it benefits the group, and then in the end, just like we saw in the beginning of the picture, you know, the taste of victory, all of us know when we win, we're all happy, we feel good, it's very pleasing, it's even euphoric sometimes. So, you know, that's the team objective, and then they each have their personal objective, like the first speaker spoke, physically and even within the game, technically, etc. But enjoy the game, have fun, but don't diminish practice, even if the coaches are pushing you and it's an intense practice. You'll rest after. You have plenty of time to rest and recover. You guys are young. And even the fitness specialist said, you guys are young age, you'll recover even faster, but push yourself in practice. The repetition, you can't teach that. You have to do it, okay? So take responsibility. This is, at the end, it's for the players, for them to also take responsibility for the practice, just like we tell them to do in school also. And, of course, enjoy the game. If you practice hard, when you guys are being casual and playing around, your coaches won't mind. But the coaches feel uncomfortable if you're not practicing hard and you're playing around. So therefore, enjoy the game, but practice hard, players. I would say that's my message for this group. Thank you.
Ricardo. So we have Ricardo. He is the vice president of Galaxy Football Club. So he's going to have a speech video, and then I'll be back.
Thank you so much. I promise I will be short, just 3 hours and I'm finished. Okay? So it will not take so long. First of all, it's a pleasure to be with you guys, among so many stars. I apologize for not speaking French. It's a mistake. I promise next time I will be much better, okay? First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here with you guys. You are future stars. You are aware of it, right? You dream with it, right? So, I will speak in the quality very fast, and I promise I will be very objective. I will try. But I'm speaking as a parent. My son is a player also, so I can speak as parent. I struggle like you, all you guys, in this moment. I will speak as a failed professional football, most of all, okay? I will speak with you guys like a failure. I'm a failure as a professional football, okay? But I'm a very successful as a sports business developer and career manager, thank God. So, I will talk not just about your dreams, just about your expectations, but the way you manage your expectations. The thing that concerns me, I will speak to you as Vice President of Galaxy FC International, a Latin American company that works also with Ronaldo, the phenomenon. We have the representation of Ronaldo in Colombia. We work with international athletes in the bridge, like Luis Timóteo and the Academy are doing with Portugal. And you are in the right path in this process, for sure. Okay, we are the best country in the world for an adaptation, integration process, so you can progress and succeed in football. Okay, kids? What are your dreams today? What is your dream today?
To be the best soccer player.
And yours?
I don't know, best soccer players.
And how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this, right? So, my concern is not the way you will succeed, guys. I was formed in one club from the south side, Vitória de Setúbal. I was a very good goalkeeper, thank God. I had sponsors. I had a top agent with 16 years old, and 4 years later my career ended, okay? So it's not about success, and this is for you guys, for you parents, it's the way you react to failure, okay? Listen, if something happens with your life, how will you react as parents? If something happens, the way is not just want to be successful. It's not just to sell you an idea of everything is easy, all of you are going to be stars, all of you can have the same tools, you will achieve it. No, it's the way you react to the failure, okay? Because you will live that. You will lose matches, you will play very bad in a lot of matches, right? Right? And the successful guys are not just the guys that are thinking in success. The successful families and parents are not just the families that are thinking in success. It's prepared and back up to react to failure. This is the best way to live your life, to manage your expectations as parents, to manage your expectations as players, and today you can make the difference, right? I have the pleasure not only to be Vice President of Galaxy FC International and Galaxy Ronaldo Academy, but also to represent a top World 20 agency in the world, okay? So thank God, today I also represent in Portugal, first 11, that in Forbes list is the 17th in the ranking. So I'm very honored of this. But I'm a failure, but I reacted. I reacted to the failure, I reacted to not being successful. I cried because I was not the professional football player like I dreamed of, right? You want to play in 4th division? Are you happy to play in 4th division?
No.
Where do you want to play?
I don't know.
All their dreams. This response, I don't know, it's very concerning to the parents. I don't know. So if you don't know the goal, so you don't know how to develop your tasks to achieve the success. Right? Make sense? No, I no problem. All of them give this response. All of them. And this is a big problem that we struggle. Bringing players, managing players' careers. It's the way they understand success. And success is not an easy thing. Success is they have the ability to understand they must decline some things. You parents don't live more in the dreams than your kids. Don't push to your sons your dreams. I'm son of a professional football player and head coach today, professional. He's in Emirates, head coach in 12 years. And it's not easy. We won a lot of money, we lost everything, and we suffered. And the best part of this is that we reacted, right? Now he's successful again, but it's not easy. My father never created expectations for me. Never. That's why I respect him a lot. He understood that my way, my path, he must back me up, but not live the dream in my place. Because most of them probably will not succeed as football players, right? But they can succeed as agents. I'm a successful agent. I'm a successful sports business developer. I have projects all over the world, thank God. And it was not easy. So, you guys, I don't want to talk about you with you just to take your time. If you want me to go, I can go now, right? You want me to go? Can I go? So, bye-bye. Thank you so much. I'm playing with you guys, no worries, no concern. I just want you to think in this. I work with African market. And in Africa, a lot of kids, and I see them in the market, okay? When I go to Ghana, for example, I see players in the ghettos, not eating, sleeping on the street, playing with no shoes, the feet cut with blood, because they don't have the blessing that you guys have to have these families behind you. They don't have the blessing to live and to grow in a society that gives you food, house, the possibility to know different cultures. So please, when you have these chances to play soccer, to be in Canada, to be in Portugal, be excellent, be thankful to God, be thankful for your parents. They struggle a lot to help you achieving your dreams, right? Are you aware of this? They work a lot, they invest a lot, they give their times, their emotions, they suffer with you, they cry with you. So you must be very conscious of this. You are kids with 11 years old, you are not 5 years old, right? So you must be aware that this is a global process between families, between players, between managers of top projects like this. Be grateful to make part of a project like this. Okay, and I'm not just saying for saying it, it's because it's well done. So, you kids must understand this, right? You understand this? Makes sense what I'm saying? So, it's easy to reach success, right? Why not? How to work for it. And this is a point, I will try to be the most objective that is possible. What is work for it? It's integration of all of this. I had the pleasure to share this space with these fantastic professionals that they spoke about very specific issues, relevant issues. And I just want to talk about something, which is mind power. Your mind power. You know what makes the difference between a regular player and an excellent player? Mind power. The way you do more than the others. If you want to be excellent, excellency and professionalism is the way of being in life. It's not a contract that you sign. Cristiano Ronaldo is professional since 10 years old. He is not professional since 18. The way he lives his life, he lived his life, the way the professionals live their lives starts now. If you want to be closer, you are not sure that you will reach your dreams, right? But you must do the best you can to be the closer, right? So please, don't be normal. Be excellent. And excellent is a way of being in life. The way you dress, the way you speak, the way you study, the way you are. You behave like son of your parents, the way you respect your family, the way you respect your fantastic coaches, the way you give value to everything around you. This is the most important part. Cristiano Ronaldo lived in an island in Portugal, in a small house. He didn't have nothing. But he had a mind power, a strong mind power. Yesterday I had a meeting with the top agent and we were speaking about this. And somebody very close told that sometimes the coaches were looking for Cristiano And he was in the bushes in the academy, alone, creating processes alone. And these partners playing video games, right? So if you want to be excellent, you must focus. You must be grateful, okay? It's a way of being in life. And most of all, react to the bad moments when you have an injury, when you have a personal problem, when you lose somebody in your life. Who lived bad moments here, like parents, for example? That you lost somebody, that you lost something. Not easy to react, right? That's the worst part, is the way you react is. So these kids will make the difference if they are stronger, prepared to react, then prepare them to be successful. Prepare kids to be successful, it's easy. My project in Colombia, how many time do I have? 5 minutes? Yes. My project with Colombia, I struggled with my associate a lot, the president, because he thought that the kids should have opportunities in a short cycle. And I told him, listen, it's fundamental to manage expectations. It's fundamental to give value to time. These kids and you parents and the structure, it's important to give them training process with time. So they can understand what is happening. It's not just a rush process. They understand what's happening. They understand the benefits, the way they can grow. But most of all, kids, you now are ready to go to a fantastic tournament and be happy, right? And enjoy football and score and play and do different clubs, different cultures. But most of all, your mind can take you anywhere. Your mind can take you anywhere. Cristiano Ronaldo is an example as player. I can give you my example as sports business developer and career manager, okay? And as agent. So you can be successful. The women, for example, the ladies here. How many ladies playing football here? The next time it must be 50, right? 50. I represent 30 players, almost 40 women, professional football, all over the world. Okay? Living from football. So, please be successful, but please be ready to react to failure, right? And families, manage your expectations, please. Okay? Don't rush things. You have time. The time is the time you want. When we do things correctly, the time we put everything on its right place, on the right spot, they will be more comfortable, aware, you also, and nobody will be disappointed. You will be ready for everything, okay? So thank you so much for this opportunity. It was a pleasure to be here, right?